This is the BEKO 5140W washing machine, reassembly and a bit of explanation about the various parts. Machine, we've got the tub hung on the springs. We're attaching the first, the one on the top, and we've also reinstalled the motor, which is only a couple of bolts onto there. Soap dispenser tray, the front cover for the drain pump, the sump hose and the BEKO ball inside there, the drain pump, the inlet water valves and solenoids, the pressure switch, soap dispenser drawer, and various nuts and bolts. On the top of the machine, it's a 13mm 3 bolts which hold the weight on the top. Before we put the pump on, we're going to just give it a little inspection of the seal inside. So we need to split the pump from the pump housing and the motor. Now when you look at the pump like this, there's a tab here which needs to be pushed down. So if you just hold it down with a screwdriver resting on your body there, and then twist the pump body to the right, get the screwdriver out of the way, then turn it a bit more, and that comes apart. Now you can check the condition of your seal and see if there's anything blocking your pump motor. Give it a clean out and we can reassemble it then. And there we are. I've given it a clean out, made a cup of tea, which is the most important thing, and now we can reassemble this. And if you hold your body like that and position it in there, so you've got your 2 pipes either side of your laminated motor field, then you can see the seal's fine, the impeller's fine. Then you just put that on there like that, in that position there, yep. Okay, and then just give it a twist anti-clockwise, a little bit of pressure when you push down on it, make sure it's seated down, and there we are. It's as simple as that. Now just remember, when you're undoing it, you have to put a bit of pressure on that tab there, screwdriver, give it a little twist, get the screwdriver out of the way, and pull it the rest of the way out. So here we are, the front of the machine. First of all, to get the pump in, bring it down here, and then it's just a twist, get it in, like that, make sure your pipes are in the right position. That's from there. Now we can put our screws back in there, which hold it in place. Let's just a couple of Phillips screws, 3 actually. Just reattach the pump power supply lead. 1, 2, 2 red leads in there, and the outlet pipe. Squeeze, bring it back down, drop them on there. And this is our sump hose, our tub drain hose, which goes from the tub to the pump. And we need to remove this BEKO ball here. Check you can still see, yeah. And the way you do this is just push it from the back like that, and pop him out and see what comes from behind him. We've already had 52 pence out of this machine, and there's a good bit of muck in there, so I'll just clean that out. Here we are. So as I've said just now, I found 52 pence in there and a couple of pieces of chain. There's a pile of muck came out, and there we are. So we can push the BEKO ball back in there into place. Now we're looking at the tub hose. Now it's essential that you get this hose in the right place, because if you don't, you're going to cause a flood. So make sure that that is properly on all the way round, and then tighten up the clip that holds it in place. there are special pliers for doing this, which I have lent out to one of my sons, and of course you don't get them back. So there we are, that's kids for you now. So there's the... Now, one important thing you must do, which you must not overlook, when you've disassembled your machine and we've cut through a lot of the cable ties, these must be replaced. So just go around and clip your cables up back in their original position. And the next thing we'll put on is the counterbalance weight on the front of the machine here. Those retainers there, and I've tipped the machine forward to help with that just slightly. There's no need to really, but it does help. And then your 13mm socket. Use now to tighten those three up. What we'll put on is the pressure switch. This is your pressure switch here. So now first of all what we'll do is this position has got to go on here like that, and this pipe comes on this side here like this, just pushes on, and then that goes in there with one screw. There's a little locating pimple for that side. Let's simply just tighten this up here. Now the plug for that is this one. Here it is here. There's only one way round you can get this. It is possible you can force it the wrong way round, but you just look at the tags, make sure those spades line up, and you've got these two hooks here which go inside, and it'll go on quite easily like that. Push that in, give it a little lift at the back, make sure them hooks are in, and there we are, there's our pressure switch in place. And now looking to the back left of the machine, we'll put our water solenoids and coils in place on the back of the machine. These fit on with just a twist. You can see there's lugs, well these have been cut off actually, but we won't worry about that. Now they fit in with just a twist, but what I'm going to do first of all is we're going to clean this out, clean the filter out. We did show you how to do that in the other video. You simply get hold of your pointed nose pliers and hold on to the tab here and pull it straight out, and then we can clean this out and reassemble it. And here we are, all cleaned out, and you can see inside you've got your flow restrictor there. That just releases, drops the pressure on the water a bit, and you can just simply push your filter straight back in place there, and we're ready to go. So as I've said, all you've got to do with this is put it in place and give it a little twist, and on it goes. Start with it slightly to the right. You can see where the lugs go. Push them down and then twist to the left, and there we are. That's in. Put our electrical leads back on. You can interchange these coils actually, leaving them up with a screwdriver, pull them off one at a time. If you're not getting any water in, change the coils off over. All you have to do, as I say, is a bit of a screwdriver and a little bit up, twist they come off, and swap them over. You may find your wash works then. You won't get any conditioner allowed in because the faulty coil will be in the way then. And there we are. That's just snapped into place because I did take that off in a previous video to show how that worked. So that's your water inlet valves and the solenoids, and the outer casing of the water dispenser. I'm going to give that a bit of a clean up as well because it's pretty mucky. And in fact, what you can do if you want to get inside to clean it good proper, then there's some tabs here, and you just lift those tabs up don't want to be too brutal with these. There we are. And we're at the top. Now we can clean it properly. So now we'll refit our dispenser tray. We've reassembled the top parts, and that pipe here, inlet pipe, hooks onto the side of the tray. There's no clips on this, just a hook on the side there. Now, so you can see this here, hook on the side on the pipe itself, and we can move that into place. There's a lug comes through just here, and over this side, there we are. Now there's a screw there and a screw there, and the pipes on the back, which go onto the solenoid on the right, and the water valve on the right, and the water valve on the left. And now we'll just reattach our clips into place here. Just to show what we're doing, I'll just remove those spade connectors here. One on there, and the same with this one on the right side. And there we are. There's our water valves and solenoids on. So, next, quick as I can now, how do we reassemble this lot? Okay, well here's your control panel. This is the back end of the control panel, as you can see, alright. Put your knobs in. Now you have to line up the flat on this knob, and it just so happens that the flat on this knob is coming towards me, and there are 3 grooves on here, and I've got the 3rd groove, the one, you've got one there, one there, one there. So you've got sort of one at, like the groove here, got one at 6 o'clock, one at 9 o'clock, one at 12 o'clock, and you've got the flat facing downwards at 6 o'clock. Now then, right, take your panel. Remember what I said, don't touch the don't touch any of these connections unless you've discharged yourself on, you know, on a concrete wall or something, because static electricity will kill it, the processor. Now, so now what we have to do is to plop this on here, and you can see them come through that control there. Now this knob on the other side of this, just give it a little twiddle to make sure it comes through. There we are, that's dropped on now, that's fine. And this one here, can you see that turning there? Let's bring it a bit closer. Can you see it? I hope so, I can. Right, that's in place now, okay. Now, next thing to do is to drop your cover over. This has got it's broken off the post on the front cover. I'm not going to replace that. I'm not replacing anything on this until I've had a good assessment of it when it's up and running. Now then, so now we drop this over here, getting it lined up the right way up, and it goes over these posts here, these clips. Okay, push it straight down, making sure that you've got your clips all lined up properly. Don't lift the printed circuit board, otherwise your knobs will lose contact. Push it down until it clips in, locks in place, and there we are. That's that, locked in place. Now we've got to put the screws in, yes, but yep, that's good. Yep, see, we're going from the beginning to the 1400, and it stops, and our control knob is working. That's good. Okay, so we'll leave that like that at the moment, and we'll put just the one screw in there because that one's broken off, and that's going to be a problem. The reason I say that could be a problem there is because if someone pushes on the control knobs a bit too hard on the outer when they in use, they could in fact push the panel out, and then the knob falls out of position and no one knows where they are then. So I'm going to have to do something about that. I'm not sure what now. I'll probably maybe try and weld a bit of plastic on there, but I'll worry about that later anyway. Right.